young people, that's what they want, and it's a sea change, and we will get that.
Well, on to another topic. DC is a popular area, DC area for institutional investment, and so you get some of your perspectives of the interest in the Dulles area and any issues that you receive from institutional investors.
Really, Greg's probably the best one. They made the most recent two actives out here with the Reston Summit and Reston Executive Center. But I think several of us were involved with that process, and I think that it really shows that the phase 2 of the metro is resonating already, and people wanting to be involved with that because, especially right now from the leasing side, the government is taking into consideration the phase 2, which is interesting. I mean, it's 5 years away. But there's been several requirements ranging from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife for 180,000 square feet to some other State Department. There's probably 3 requirements out there right now. They're considering sites in or near phase 2 metro rail stations, even though they're going to be occupying 14. Some of that is required to, what you guys touched on earlier, we need to have a shuttle back to the Wheeling right now. But I think that's going to open it up, and I think Greg and these guys were good forward thinkers and seeing that it is already being considered by the tenants, which is really the bottom line in terms of the value creation in a new acquisition.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing kind of 2 different trends. I mean, I think, some of the big national firms that are reporting to shareholders, certainly sovereign wealth funds, are actually trying to pull out of some of the suburbs. They're trying to kind of more focus on the core. It's an easier thing to explain to your investor if you're not familiar with the DC area. Like, oh no, we're 3 blocks from the White House now. We're in Reston, but it's really great. We'll drive you out there and explain it to you. So frankly, we've been the beneficiary of that. You look at the landowners out here, we're local companies who understand that runs. The flip side of that is that's changing. I mean, obviously with Amazon announcing this week, that's a major national player located in, and obviously some of these major companies relocating their headquarters here is changing that, but it's still something that you have to have somebody who's willing to invest the time to understand why he's not.
I think sequestration, and I really hate that word, I'll never use it again, scared a lot of the investors off of it. I think it was an easy way to say we're going to stay to the core and stick to the 3 blocks from the White House. But I think as you look at the vacancy rates being single digits in Class A groups like Amazon, and I think that even by the end of summer with the deal center we're talking about, I think you're going to be at like 8% or maybe sub 8% on Class A space in a market that always seems to bounce back, that has the human capital, that has the Dulles Airport, and obviously Reston Town Center. So I think price per pound maybe outside of Town Center was still probably at a low or has been at one. So I think you're going to continue to see groups trying to get in and invest in and around the silver line over the next 12 months.
So I can give a little bit more of a national perspective on macro. We've got 3 million square feet of office nationally, a lot in the secondary markets, but some primary markets as well. The Metro DC effect is not something you can underestimate. Even if you have weak fundamentals in this market, the desire for institutional investors, foreign may go in and out, but the depth of the institutional market here is tremendous. And that, I just don't see that ever really going away. And then when you look at the economic drivers, what is really the engine behind potential economic growth out of this sort of stagnation that we're in, it really is technology. And Reston has gone from a sort of startup technology base in the 90s, where you have the mature technology firms needing to be here. There's a real lack of labor pool in a lot of primary markets to hire good engineers and good people, and they now all realize they absolutely have to be here. And that should be the engine of medium and long-term growth.
Do you see the job growth coming from out of the area?
I think you've already seen it, and I think it will continue to happen. I think when those mature technology companies come in, that will spawn more entrepreneurship around that. I mean, that's happened in almost every single one of these technology hubs in the country.